Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first game of the day. It's early morning for me. I had to have coffee, and I have my wonderful players with me who are going to introduce themselves. Let's start with Kallum.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kallum. My pronouns are they, them, and new. And today I will be playing Maxil, who has the same pronouns. I am very excited to be here. Would you like me to popcorn it over to someone else, or would you like to choose the victim?
No, you choose.
I will popcorn it over to Gilly.
Gilly, but really close. Hello. My name is Gilly, and you can find me at Oh Look It's Gilly most places on the internet. Um, my pronouns are she, her. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I don't remember what my character's pronouns are. Because I created this character sheet like 4 days ago, and that was a lifetime ago. My guess is she, they. Um, but also I believe that my character believes that gender is a shrug. Um, I am today. We're not introducing characters, right? No, yes, maybe, perhaps. Okay, I'm going to say no. We're not doing that because of reasons, and we will go over to Happy.
All right. So I'm Claire. You might also see me as Happy, Happy, Sad in some of the online spaces that I'm in. But my name is Claire. My pronouns are she, her, and they, them. And my character that I'll be playing today will be using she, her pronouns. So either is fine, but she, her probably will work the best for today.
Wonderful. And I'm the bard with many names, also known as Laura. I use any and all pronouns, and I will be your storyteller for today. And people who know me know I do have a thing for fairies. So, of course, I'm doing the fairy one shot. So, allow me to invite you to step over the threshold with me into the green valley of eternal summer where the sealing court of the fairies resides. There are endless palaces and even more wood to just go and hunt and enjoy the wild and the life where you don't need to worry about anything you might think. But in a world where pesky little things like how to get food or how to worry about your next paycheck are just, I mean, those are human things. Um, in a world like this, there are still things people fight about: prestige, knowledge, and to be seen in a world where who you know and who you impress might be your one ticket to not just immortality, because I mean, we all got that, but what's immortality without being known? We start at the Summer Court University, where our wonderful players are students of the great curator of the Green Valley, Lady Xelophan, who's known for being, how do I put this elegantly? Mm, some people who don't know her would say she got a stick up her butt, and most people who do know her would say that those people are right. It is the end of your time at the university. You are about to graduate and to present your magnus opum, like the one thing you want the whole world, the whole fairy world to see who you are and what you are. And the date is approaching. To be exact, it is tomorrow. So right now it's the night for last preparations. Callum, what is your character doing in the night before the big reveal?
The night before the big reveal. Okay, so Maxil is um, sat in their room, uh, scribbling down more ideas, different ideas for what it could be, thinking about scrapping their entire project and doing it tonight and staying up all day to make it. Like that's that they're currently thinking about. Um, uh, they are having wild and vivid ideas of how to completely like throw this whole competition out of the water. Like, I don't actually need to compete. What if I just stood in the position of my piece and just stood there as myself, huh? That is the art that I am presenting, not a product, but myself. Um, yeah. Would you like me to describe Maxil?
Yeah, please describe us who is sitting there, not at all anxiety filled and with ink stained fingers.
Cool. So what you see is a slightly tall, pale figure with long navy hair, um, and is wearing like a like I can't describe it. Like a black shirt that doesn't have it, like goes straight up to their neck and has long sleeves, and they'll occasionally put a finger through a hole in their left like shirt. Um, and then they are wearing like purple trousers, um, and they've got like some nice blue fancy fey shoes. Um, they have silver eyes. And yeah, they're just kind of throwing ideas at their desk, be it like scribbles a piece of paper and then like taking an idea and scrunching up and throwing it behind them. Um, and yeah, that's where we find them currently.
Are you alone?
Yes.
So I do believe you are more than just scared for a second when you hear the very well known noise that all of you learned to know and fear over the last few decades of the high heels of Lady Xylophone coming down the hallway.
Fear? I don't know the meaning of the word.
There is a knock.
Maxil thinks about lying on the bed and doing a French girl's pose, but decides that is not the time to do it. So goes over to the door and opens it.
In front of you stands your tutor, Lady Xylophone. You got one of the few more private spots. Like you got under her wing. She calls all of you her Sparrows most of the time in a not as nice way, but you got a nickname. Like she acknowledged that you are here, and Lady Xylophone is already extremely tall. Like we're talking about 1 meter 90 here, and still is wearing heels. So there is no going around it. She's looking down on you.
Mummy, what?
Multicolor. Hmm?
What? Didn't say nothing, mate.
Um, she's got multicolored hair right now, pulled back into a strict bun that nearly makes her look a bit surprised because her eyebrows went back there up. Um, and she wears one of her usual extravagant outfits full of colors, and some of them are from her painting. By now, you figured out that she's like doing that on purpose just to give it some pizzazz and show people that she's actually a working artist. Um, Ice cold, piercing blue eyes. And she looks at you. So,
Gives a little bow. Uh, yes, lady. How can I help you today?
I
It's late,
just
isn't it?
wanted I just wanted to know how is it going? You're ready
Great.
for tomorrow?
Absolutely perfect. I'm ready. Just to check, how much demonstration space do we have?
At this point, Callum, I want you to remember that your character can't lie.
Yeah. I've not
Okay.
lied.
Okay. How much do you need?
Um, like 2 rooms.
Not at all a problem.
Perfect.
Anything else I should know?
Uh, I will need some clarification on the types of things you should know. Because, like, if it's like, I don't think I'm doing anything that will get me in trouble, but are there, like, things that, like, what do you need to know what it is before I show it? Because that kind of ruin the surprise.
No, I don't need to know.
Then no, I've got nothing you need to know.
Do I need to inform some water mages in case you want to burn something down?
I am not going to burn anything down.
Wonderful.
I do need to, however, go and make sure that I've got the measurements right on the bed.
Well, I will leave you to it.
And they get a notebook out and they start measuring their bed.
Telephone looks at you for a second with the look like, are they? Then she decides it's not her art project. It's not her circus. It might be her monkeys, but this is your show. She nods and leaves again.
Don't worry, boss. I'm gonna do a good job. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna win. However, I am absolutely gonna win this.
There is no winning at art.
But this is a competition where explicitly only one person gets the thing. Like, you have made it a competition in in the action of doing that. I thought we couldn't lie.
I did not make it a competition. I gave you a space to present yourself. And I explained to you how much it would mean if that presentation went well.
It will be a very good presentation.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
You could almost call it a complete work.
I'll leave you to it. And she turns away and leaves.
Ah, fuck, Deborah. Fuck. Fuck! I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, I'll be good. I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert.
While you keep telling that to yourself, Happy. What's your character doing in the night before the big reveal? You're muted. Okay, while Happy gotta go to bash some wonderful, wonderful tech goblins I would just go over and Gilly,
Hi.
what's your
Yes.
character doing?
Hayes is in the kitchen. And has been feverishly working on what will be their final piece for this gallery. Um there is, I think, probably a thick cloud of steam. There is shredded coconut everywhere. Um there are a lot of little like things that look like toothpicks in various colors. There's um what looks like a giant pile of uh, um really, I think the substance is probably unidentifiable at this stage. Um, but Hayes is wearing an apron and has their hair has gone kind of, it's very, very short, but it's kind of poofy with the steam. Um, so is kind of sticking up in all directions. And is definitely um has definitely been a while since Hayes left the kitchen, and definitely muttering to themselves, constantly.
I would love for you to roll me a flight check.
Flight check. Okay, sure. My flight is a D4. Great. We love to see it. Um, this will definitely go well. Come on, I need a cow drop.
The chances of you getting the highest number and exploding on a D4 is theoretically the highest.
Yeah, you would think that, but I played a different game earlier and I rolled so badly. Yep, there's a 1. There's a 1. This this is a very pointy 1.
So you're very into your work,
Mhm.
so deep into your work that you don't hear the heels. And I don't know what you're holding in your hands right now, but you still keep muttering to yourself, and you hear like the bubbling and the sound of the kitchen, and sharp like glass. Xelophan's voice cuts through it. I thought I made it clear that talking to oneself is a sign of weak character, my dear.
Um so what Hayes is holding is her wand, which is like a large long wooden fork with a chocolate core. Um and she's using it kind of to stir and sort of wave over things occasionally, and I think Hayes straight up, like, nearly throws it across the room when she is interrupted. Um, so, um, I'm not I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to my piece, the artistic the artistic muse, you know? It's it's within me and I need to draw it out by speaking to it so that it understands what I'm trying to say. What it is trying to say.
Well, whatever you're drawing out, I prefer to see it in your piece, not hear it in your voice.
You and me both.
So, and she gives you back the fork you flung across the room, and she actually just catched. Um, how is it going? Are you ready?
Do I look ready?
You know, sometimes it is kinda not to answer at all.
Kinda to whom?
I've learned that appearances can deceive, so I am asking you.
I will be ready.
Wonderful. Is there anything I need to know?
Just that mine, my piece will be better than everybody else's, but you should already know that because you've seen my work up to this point.
I do expect perfection from all of my students.
Yes, but me just a little more than the others. Just a little. I'm going to win.
Art is not a competition.
But if it was, I would win.
You know, it is sometimes really impressive how people start to build cages out of their own expectations, sit in it, and then expect anybody else to applaud. Don't tell me, show me.
Did you know there's a song about that? It's from one of those musicals from the not here. Um it's from My Fair Lady. It's quite a it's anyway. Um
Or is it one of those operettes?
yes, yes. One sort of like that. There's a there's a person and they have marbles in their mouth and then they don't, is my understanding. It's about how difficult your life is if you have marbles in your mouth.
Yes. Operette about the hardships of a life with a mouth full of marbles. Sounds
Well,
like
it's
a well of wisdom.
yeah, well, I think Hayes pulls out like a little. I don't think it's clear what it is, but it is clearly made of food and it is a perfect little round ball. Um and they say, like this, but if you stuffed a bunch of them, of course I wouldn't eat these. They're not for eating. Um None of my work is for eating. Um Food is not to be food that is art is not to be consumed, it is to be understood.
Uh-huh. Well, if you say you will be ready, I'll leave you to it.
All right. Well, it will be ready soon. There's definitely something in the background that is boiling over.
And smoking, low-key exploding.
Yeah, yep. I think there's like a casual wave of the wand behind, and you just see like a little, like almost wall go up. Like it's just now there's a curtain in front of it, so it's not a problem anymore.
Well, I will leave you to your progress. And she leaves. Happy.
Um,
Oh,
I think
sorry, yeah.
Hayes kind of what no, Hayes kind of waves the fork, and it sloshes because the chocolate in it has liquefied.
She doesn't turn back. Happy. What is your character doing in the night before the big reveal?
Okay. Now, if the tech problems have subsided, excellent. Apologize for that. It was a bad feedback, bad loop between my camera and my mic. Um, so, uh, my character Black Rose is a wood carver, and of course, that is their art. And as a wood nymph. They're very, very close to the wood that they carve, and she is with her creation, her magnum opus, but today's the last night before um, it's going to be shown. So she is just looking at it and very specifically not touching it because she's just like, I need to commune with my art and help, understand it. Talk to the wood. The wood the wood is dead. It is a tree that was once a great tree in the forest, and it fell during a great storm, and I have breathed life back into it, but it is dead. So I'm giving it um, its final rites and thanking it for its service. But I specifically will not make any alterations to it tonight because I do not want to um, make any alterations and then make any slips because I don't have any time to be able to fix anything that might happen if I shave off a little bit and then go just a little bit too deep. I don't have any time to fix anything like that. So it's done. I'm with my familiar, who's my small green uh, lizard, Sir Sparklethorn, and we're just he's my witness as I give the great tree, who was once such a grandfather of the forest, its last rites, and thank it for its service to the forest.
I would love to have a flight check from you too,
All right,
since you're out in the open.
all right. Pull my character sheet to make sure I know one. That is, I have a D8 on that one. So, and I got an 8 on that one. So that means I do a second one, correct?
Yeah, it explodes.
Exploding. All right. I just rolled 2 8s in a row.
Do it again.
All right. That's a 6.
Okay, so we're at 22, right?
Yes.
You are sitting there feeling your art piece, and your art piece once was a living thing in tune with nature and the world around it. And sometimes you have like this tiny little golden moments where you feel what it's really about. Like, of course, it's all death and destruction, but like the way death is in the world can just be like so beautiful. And you feel that, and your mind expands. And not only do you feel how your teacher approaches you from behind, you're not alone in these woods. You see somewhere up on one of the branches sits a crow, and hidden in the greenery, nearly invisible, is a white fox looking at you.
All right. So I hear my teacher coming from behind, and um, I will greet her as I'm standing, communing, thanking the tree, and feeling everything around it. And I will say, thank you for coming to visit on the night before our presentations. It means a lot to me that you would come and see me and my art.
Well, I do have to watch out for my students, don't I?
You watch out for us very well. Thank you. I kind of just kind of turn around and just smile at her because I'm one with everything right now. I feel the decay of the leaves that have fallen. I feel the trees. I feel the animals who are watching, and I'm like this is peace. I am at peace.
Yeah, your character might or might not have smoked some part of their crown before, But if it helps the process, like
Yeah. Yeah, the crown is just steam gently breathing from the top of my head. I've got like contact high from whatever leaves I wove into my hair this morning.
so, Lady Xelophan comes closer, looks at you, looks at your work. Are you ready for tomorrow?
Thing. My art is ready. My piece is ready. I myself am preparing to make sure that I can present it the best I can. And so that I fully understand the art that I've created and can share that with others.
Are you still dancing with the same ghost you don't even remember you summoned?
And I will be a little bit surprised, like, I've never summoned a ghost. Or I don't remember ever having summoned a ghost.
It's about death again, isn't it?
Of course. How can my art be about anything but death when my medium itself is dead? Your art would all be about death if you made it if your paint was made from the blood of living things, wouldn't it?
You know, any other person I would tell off for presenting me one piece about death after the other. Any other person. But you bleed into your work, and that's something I respect.
Thank you.
So, is there anything I need to know before tomorrow?
Um I kind of like look back at it and then look back at her and say, um, now I have to think about making sure that I can actually get it to the presentation location. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to spend some time tonight figuring that out. Because like just like the size of a down tree. And I'm like, yeah.
Is it rooted in place?
It's not. It's just very heavy, so I probably will have to
I'll
use
just
some
summon some
magic.
horses.
Yeah.
It will be fine.
Thank you. I appreciate your assistance.
And you hear a ping
hmm
as you say thank you to a fairy.
Yeah.
And she doesn't smile, but you see her a slight tug
hmm
on her lips. Like, by now you should have learned.
Not to thank her because she will get something from me in return. I can't help it. I'm polite.
That's not being polite. That's being naive. We'll see each other tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And she leaves. And when you turn back to your piece, you see that the crow and the fox are also gone.
All right.
So, um, I would want all of you to actually roll for your big piece. Since you have been studying your way of producing art, I want you to roll with your highest stat. And I will allow you to roll twice. With your magic die, because art in this world is magic and magic is art. And your magic die, contrary to the rules, is able to explode too. Now, don't be afraid if you don't roll high. That doesn't mean you didn't make a bad piece of art. It just might be that it's controversial.
And our magic die is a D4, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Are we allowed to use bonuses of tools?
Yes. Bonus is everything. Everything you got.
Okay.
Cool.
I want you anything, any way you can bend the rules to get the highest number possible.
Oh no.
When you say roll twice, did you mean roll twice and take the higher, or roll twice and add them together?
Roll twice and take the higher.
Perfect.
So
Also, I
hang
believe
on.
that you start with 3 adversity tokens when you create your character. You
Oh,
are
that's
allowed
useful.
to use these, or you are allowed to use the adversity token. By the way, Gilly, you got one because you didn't hear Excella coming. You're allowed to use those to push the dice towards exploding.
I'm going to use my lucky trait to get a third reroll by spending 2 adversity tokens.
I almost took that and I didn't, and I regret it so much.
Oh yeah, baby!
Wait, so am I rolling the magic die in addition to
Yes.
my Okay.
You're
Not that it
rolling your
matters.
highest stat twice. You use the higher roll and you add your magic die. And if your magic die explodes, it explodes.
I've got a number. Do you want it yet?
I'm guessing you've got a 30. What do you got?
I've got 39.
Good grief.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh yeah. 20,
So
18, and a 1.
I rolled garbage, but I got a 7. I rolled a 4 on my magic die, so it explodes. That takes me to 11. Then I rolled a 3, which takes me to 14, and I have a +1 to brains for my broom, so 15.
You can use one adversity token to make your magic die explode another time.
Okay, I'll do that. 18. I'll take it.
Okay. We have 18. We have 39, was it?
Good grief.
All right.
Could get it to 41 if I
mathing.
wanted.
I rolled a 16 and a 20 as original, so the 20. But then I
If you
rolled,
roll the 20, you can roll the 20 again because
yeah,
that
but I got a
explodes.
5 on the explosion.
25 and your
That's
magic
right.
die?
I get a 3 and I spend an adversity token to make that explode, so I can do another one. And that's a 4. So that's 8, and then that's a 2. And I don't want to spend all my adversity tokens, so I'm not going to make that one explode. So that's 25 plus 8 plus 2 is 10, so 35.
We have 35, 39, and what was it for you, Julie?
18.
18. Yeah, there's a reason why you're her student. Salah only takes the best, and everybody knows that. So, with these wonderful roles in mind, it is the next day. How much have you slept?
Well, how much did I smoke yesterday?
That's a question only you can answer.
I probably got like a solid 3 hours of sleep after I finished my funeral for my art, my tree.
Maxil.
Oh, go ahead. Go for it.
Maxil slept like a goddamn baby. Absolutely knocked out, had a lovely night's sleep, got up early because they had work to do, but they slept really well.
I think in contrast, Hayes stayed out way too late. Got maybe an hour and a half of not very great sleep. Tried to stop for a beverage of caffeine on the way, and the regular place was closed, and so crawled in basically today.
But all of you did get your work done. That's wonderful. The gallery is supposed to open in the afternoon. It's some have giant wooden statues to drag across the green valley. Some have to put beds into rooms. Some have to take care that the food arrives without melting or turning bad. You all of you have things to do. And as you arrive at the venue, which is like a building in the gardens of Titania's one of Titania's castles, glass ceiling, glass walls. Here and there some plants, but most of the time, mostly it's just like your pieces are standing in the Feywild itself because you are the artists of the Feywild itself. Um, if you haven't asked for anything else, and as you arrive with all your stuff and your outfits you want to change into later to look fancy, you see that not only Xala's already there, but you arrive at a bitch fight of the century
Ooh.
as Lady Xalafan and her century-long rival, Sevilla, stand across from each other, both of them a wine glass in hand, and are talking politely in a pointed, polite way that everybody in the room is watching. And while you come in behind Sevilla, there are also her 3-star students. You didn't think you were here alone, were you?
Oh no. I'm ready to be the politest mean I've ever been.
So there's a reason they're called 3-star students. They don't match up to our 5-star caliber.
I think Hayes just mutters quietly to herself, and probably whoever is in the vicinity. See, I told you it was a competition. Oh no, wait, she has an accent. I forgot. That was like 10 minutes ago. See, I told you it was a competition.
There is no competition because of how good we are.
True.
You know what? I actually don't like that vibe. Maybe we should collaborate with them. Maybe we should surpass their expectations of like courtly nonsense, and we should just like get them on board.
Um,
On board with
I
what?
would like that very much. And just behind you is another nymph, not a wood nymph, but a river nymph. You know her as Masha. She's famous for her watercolor. Hi, um,
Hello, Masha.
hi, it's so nice to meet you. I would love to collaborate from time to time. Uh, I don't know if you know, but I was Xela's student once, but I couldn't meet her expectations.
And you know that doesn't mean anything outside of their bullshit, right? Like I can't wait to see your work.
That's very kind of you. I can wait to see yours.
Ah, it's worth the wait.
I think Hayes is kind of looking skeptically at this. Is there anything happening that this is a distraction from? Or is this person just being nice?
You know what? Give me a roll. What do you want to roll?
Brains, I feel like, is correct here, right? I'm trying
Yeah,
to work
sure.
out if there's an angle. But I will never know. Because I rolled a 5.
5 is not enough. Take an adversity token. Um,
Delicious adversity tokens.
I mean, you have known Masha for a tiny bit because she left like 2 weeks after you 3 arrived. Um, Masha is a timid spirit. Like, Xala has a way with her words. Xala absolutely is able to destroy people with just 3 sentences and displeased not. And Masha just broke. And then Sevilla took her under her wing.
I think Hayes is just kind of watching and isn't saying anything, but kind of has their arms folded and is just observing this conciliatory behavior.
Yeah.
Masha just keeps talking. Something I came up with that's like I'm kind of proud of is like if I don't actually put the color on the canvas but keep it in a bubble of water and move it in there, I can actually make moving pictures inside of fixed bubbles of water and tell stories with that.
Do they have to be bubbles? Could the water form themselves take on different models?
I thought about it, but I like bubbles. And also, if I make it a sphere, people can walk around it and see different things.
Does everyone see the same thing? Or does
No.
everyone who looks through the... See, this is some quality work here. If I hadn't already got my project sorted, I would be asking to collaborate. But as soon as this is over, you and I should talk about these moving bubbles. I like it a lot.
I would love that.
I think nature spirit to nature spirit, or nature fae to nature fae, I would also be a little bit like, well, maybe I think our specific brands of art are a little bit too opposed, but also having been on the end of our professor's kind of, quite grating tone, I would just be like, not necessarily mean to this poor girl, or I wouldn't be like mean to this poor, thing. Let's just be like, will we be able to see any of these watercolor bubbles at your presentation today?
Yeah. It's gonna be like a whole thing with bubbles, and I put some into water and then I froze it. So some pictures are moving like quickly, and some are moving a bit slower because because of how the light breaks in ice. And it's like I'm really proud of my work. I would love for all of you to see it.
Hayes is actively having to restrain themselves because this sounds so interesting to them.
Kind of, we're going to be very busy with my presentation requires a lot of my own effort. So I might be a bit too busy to take part during the grand reveal of all the. Could I have a sneak preview?
Oh, yeah, sure. I would. I mean, please be careful. The ice is very fragile. Oh, I did. It's, you can see it as a favor,
Oh yeah.
and we forgot what I just said.
Oh, I didn't forget nothing, mate. I heard the P word.
Dang it! Dang it!
You're welcome.
Oh, all right. You're a kind soul.
Yeah, I am. Just be careful not to do it around any of these other flicks.
And she while the adults are still fighting, she pulls one of the doors open and ooh, if you see this as a competition just got mean. Like, it's a whole room filled with ice and water and mist with some colors like watercolors frozen into the ice and moving in the water, but there are also dancing lights around to paint pictures into the mist. It
Oh,
looks as if you're in a underwater of an ice cage, and above you are the northern lights telling stories all around you.
this is very irritating.
I would say it seems some people don't necessarily blossom under harsh criticism. And it seems you have very much blossomed under the teacher that you have now.
I wouldn't want to talk bad about Salafan. She did a lot for me. But yeah, I'm happier with Sibylla.
What are the images? Huh? What is in these bubbles? Are they facsimiles? Are they aspects of the world that you've seen?
Um, I don't tell anybody, but I snuck into the mortal world to watch the Northern Lights, and then
Oh,
there was this concert where they played with all the lights and the fires, and everybody was just so happy and sang
A
along, and I wanted.
concert? What type of concert?
They had really loud guitars.
Guitars can be loud? I thought they were but but how? They have strings.
oh, they've got
They
these
put
things called
lightning through
electricity.
it.
They
Yeah,
put lightning through, but
yeah.
but if they're made of wood, then the trees that made these guitars are dead. But if they take the lightning and put it through them, they made zombie guitars?
I don't know how it works, but it was so
That's exactly
cool.
how it works, yeah. So what happens is that the lightning goes through the guitars, and then the people who make them, they have to make them in these big castles, and they raise them up on these platforms and scream, "They're alive! They're alive!" And the music is formed by the trees screaming while
I was
being
going to
supported.
say
Um,
the music sounds
yeah.
to me like a death rattle. That does seem
I
No, that's
appropriate.
specific. Sorry, I
dead music.
have made a mistake.
You're welcome. It's only fair.
You're a good soul. But you too. I need you to also say
Say what?
we were all part of this bit. Okay, this was not my fault.
Are you sure?
If you don't want me to eat your work, you'll let me off on this.
Well, that would be just incredibly detrimental to the artistic process. I would have to go to the highest authority on that.
What do you want?
No, I don't want anything now.
I'll kind of like just lay my hand on their shoulder, be like, everyone makes a slip of the tongue every once in a while.
And
Forgiveness
yeah.
will be earned upon
Oh
your
my god.
forgiveness of my own if one ever should come. Don't worry.
Right. Well,
Masha
gonna
looks
go.
up at you. Are those people your friends?
They're supposed to be, apparently. Today, apparently, it means war.
Friendship is complicated.
I won't
I
hold it over you as long as you don't hold it over me in the future.
I it I apologize for attempting to make light of your knowledge.
I'm sorry, could you say that again for me?
Oh my
No, don't say
god.
it again. Don't say it again.
I'm gonna go find out what the schedule is so I can get out of here the quickest.
Yeah.
Maxwell's gonna
Um.
try and find the schedule.
Yeah. We kind of all need to leave. I'm not supposed to show people, but since I'm not supposed to,
This is quite interesting.
So
maybe you see it that way.
yeah. I do have a question about uh where we are. So Misha, that's that's her name, right?
Masha.
Masha. Okay. Masha's opened us the door. Have we like gone inside? Is the door shut behind us or is there an escape
No, the
route
door's
back?
still open.
Okay. All right. Um well, um let's say I know you are not supposed to show us, but we are also not supposed to look. So, your
I mean,
art
in the end,
is
it's gonna be the
lovely.
critics' work.
That is true.
We just do the best we can.
We're all slaves to our own artistic merit and insensibilities.
We don't have to be slaves.
See, that makes me a little bit distrustful.
What do you mean by that?
That making art can also just be um something you enjoy.
I'm sorry, that wasn't a joke.
If I wanted to
My art
enjoy
got better when
making
I
art,
started
I
enjoying
would
what I'm
just grow
doing.
trees. Mm. And it has worked wonders for you. It is fantastic. But I think if I don't suffer for my art, then that's just how I work with it. And different people, different fairies are motivated by different things. We are all different.
Different people, different process.
Exactly.
Okay, really need to get back to the others, but it was wonderful talking to you.
This was illuminating.
I enjoyed our conversation as well.
And she kind of shoos you out of the room and closes this back behind
Okay.
herself. By
So
now, at least the adults have gone from very pointedly polite talking to looking at the same piece of art next to each other and absolute frozen silence.
What are you looking at?
And I would love for all of you to give me a roll, and I'll ask you what you're offering me to either noticing something that's going on as a social underflow, or notice something missing that should be there.
all right. So could I roll brains? That just happens to be my highest stat.
Makes
I was
sense.
thinking maybe noticing things. It's kind of a brains thing. All
Well,
right.
Depending on what you roll, you will get different information.
Okay.
brains is my highest stat, but that has meant absolutely nothing to my rolls thus far. So, We'll see.
That
I'm
is a
gonna socially
10.
pick up on the situation using charm.
Um, maybe I should roll charm instead.
Well,
6.
6 is all right.
Okay.
I've
I'm
gotten
gonna
a
roll.
10 on brains.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it doesn't matter what I roll. I rolled a 2.
Yeah, Julie, your character, like, you're a teacher's pet. You see Xella analyzing something, you start analyzing it to pick
I'm
up
just very much
what's that about.
nodding and echoing. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, with a 6 in charms, I'd say people are a lot more relaxed than you had expected. Civilian students, that is. Like, Masha is just sitting in a corner, smiling and playing with another of her watercolor bubbles. A very fierce-looking, small full-book non-binary person who's known for their metalwork is just sitting there chilling, tiny bit bragging that they can touch iron. And Happy, you see Masha, you see that full-book kid. There was a boy. Where's the boy?
I want to go look at my artwork.
Oh, where is it?
That's what I would like to know. I want to go find it. If I can't see it and put my eyeballs on it, I would like to go find it right now.
Oh, where did your character last put it?
So, our teacher said that was sending a carriage to help transport it.
She sent horses.
Horses. Okay.
And when
Mhm.
she said she didn't said she'd send horses, she said she'd summon horses.
Summon horses.
Because
Mhm.
as uh as a very powerful fairy, Xalathar can just paint things into existence and
Mhm.
use her flute and bring them to life. So 4 truly gigantic horses made out of stone and earth have just pulled and carried your artwork to wherever you wanted it to be.
All right. So I would have probably had it brought to the location. Um and did we have like specific rooms or places where we would have okay, I would have like put it where it was supposed to go when it was for the presentation. I don't know if we have things behind doors like Masha. Um but I'm assuming that I would have a plaque or something would have like my identifier on it. I would have put it nearby that thing. So I would go to that plaque or the last time I would make sure to would have gotten there. But then I haven't been standing next to it. So I would like to go back to that location and make sure that it's still there and it is in the same condition in which I left it.
See, the thing is, you were told that you were not supposed to go where other people's are. The boy is sitting in front of your statue and just looking at it with a respectful distance,
Mhm.
like 2-3 steps back, sitting in the grass, all pointy ears, just looking at it.
All right. I will go sit down in the grass, not immediately next to him, but several paces next to, and then ask, "May I have your opinion on the piece?"
No, you may not, but I could tell it.
Fair enough. You may speak, and I will listen. Only listen, or whatever. Yeah.
I like it. It's a bit whack. I'm not sure if I understand it, but I don't need to understand it. I just like feel it, you know?
um, it's about death. It's
Ah,
and I mean, I'm not sure if I specified earlier, but it would be living things carved like images of living things like animals, like forest animals or some or and trees and stuff carved out of the wood. Um very like realistic looking. So none of it looks dead, but like but there's like, like a bear with like a fish in its jaws, like that kind of stuff, like just carved kind of like in relief out of the trunk. Like, yeah.
that's pretty deep. Like that's like you carved it, or did you like summon it into that shape?
I would like to pull out my wand, which has like a wooden handle, and then at the end of it, a tip that's like a chisel blade made of stainless steel. And I'll kind of like just like carve.
Ooh, getting your hands dirty. I like it.
Well, and I'll be like, I think the calluses make me look cool.
Yeah. I mean, look at my fingertips from playing the violin.
To be like, oh yeah, those are some good calluses.
I gotta say, I'd rather look at you than your work.
Okay. All right.
You're a
I'm gonna
pretty
be.
one.
I'm gonna look at this boy and and say, what might I call you?
You may call me Mikael. What may I call you?
You may refer to me as Black Rose, if it amuses you.
Black Rose. Well, that's a name.
Black Roses.
And while you're pointing at the crown in your hair, he's pointing at his eyes, and the boy has some deep, like intensely green eyes, almost as deep as Xala's eye color, and
Mhm.
he just points at it. Changeling.
Hmm, interesting. Changeling. So you've come from the mortal world?
Once upon a time, don't really
How
spend time there.
how long ago?
Uh, I've had a girlfriend at the French Revolution.
Hmm.
Yeah, she was one of the yeah, yes, she was one of the fancy ones. It didn't end up well.
I was gonna say, I seem to remember things happening back then. I was very disappointed. A lot of the art,
Yeah,
not very
yeah.
many people seem to appreciate it very well. And they burned down the theaters.
Right, like, first it was so chill and then it wasn't. And I literally can't.
Mortals are so weird. I
Mortals are
mean,
so weird. And I say this, I am to a certain part mortal myself.
please. You've been here long
Please.
enough.
Did you just say please?
It is an expression.
Well, I'm gonna like you.
That's 2 hours in a row. That's 2 hours in a row. Not only did you say please, you then lied about it.
Well, I didn't lie about it because when I said it, I meant it as the mortal expression, like please, not necessarily as in I'm asking for something, please.
See, Black Rose, I would love to have a talk with you later, but the critics are about to arrive and I need to get changed. Um, but it was lovely to make your acquaintance.
I would say it was lovely to make yours as well.
And he turns around and
All right.
leaves.
All right. I instantly scan the entire length of my project to make sure it's all okay.
And that's a very good idea. Please roll me. What would that be? Brain feels a bit. Yay! I would say brains, but if you have something else to offer, I would take it too.
I'll take brains. I'm good at that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. That is a 6.
It seems like just before.
All right. Still I'm not trusting of the fact that there was someone in here. And while the conversation was lovely, um it is it is a little suspicious that it seems to me that, these students of my dear professor's rival seem to be interested in us and our artwork.
Uh-huh. I would allow all of you to roll charm.
All right.
All
In
right.
this world,
Let's see if I
in this point, as in, how much do you know of rumors? Like, how much did people tell you because you were pleasant?
see if I can roll above a 3 this time.
Mm,
Try rolling the
Hey.
right die this time.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
It exploded, so I got a 15.
Nice.
15 is
Winning.
good.
All I have to do is
10.
complain about how bad my rolls are, and then they fix themselves.
Yeah, I got a 10.
I got a 5. I'm not
Okay,
very good at charm.
so, Happy, your character is Jon Snow, doesn't know anything. There is
I'm
that
too
rivalry,
focused
yeah,
on
but
my
by
art.
now it's basically just halfway of a joke because it sells better to the press. Like, smacking each other into the press just keeps the ball rolling. Um, Kallum, your character knows a tiny bit more, uh, which is that Salafan and Sevilla had a past, and it's always hinted as they had a past. Um, and that sometimes Lady Salafan, as eloquent as she might be, is very good at putting her foot into her mouth when Sevilla is too nice to her. Like, the more nice people around her, the more distrustful Xala gets. And you have a 15, Gilly, right?
15. I've got to treasure this while it lasts.
Okay, so here's the tea. Listen. Some people say it's something that's not talked about a lot, but some people say, well, the thing is, Salafan is a changeling lady. And changelings in this world are mostly brought in as as friends for noble fairies kids. Like, oh, we're gonna get you a little playmate out of the immortal world. There are rumors that Lady Xelophan once was Sevilla's playmate from the mortal world, and they had a big falling out.
Okay. And then how would like how would you get promoted from mortal world to fey world in that case?
Um,
Or do I not know?
you would know. Um, that you would know that to be free, like to be as a changing to be seen, like changelings are often seen as not quite fey, like
Mm-hmm.
they're all right. The poor souls, bless their heart. Um, but they are able to earn their place in high society most of the time as artists because uh, due to them being harsh mortal, they have a better way to go with the change of times or through
Okay.
any other great feat, great accomplishment, or if they are let free, free, as in they're not slaves, they're part of the household, but they can be offered like a starting point for their own household, for their own house.
Sure. Okay. So it's not that weird then um that I'm sorry, what are those changelings pronouns? Um she her
Hmm?
was I think was used, right? For the changeling.
Uh, Mikael, yeah.
No,
Oh,
um, you mean the rival teacher?
rival teacher. Sorry. Yes.
Also, Sevilla, she, her.
She her. So it's not that weird that she once was in the mortal realm and is now here.
No, Xella is from the mortal realm.
Oh, sorry. I got confused. Mm, It's all of
Sevilla
the
is part of the old fairy families.
Oh, okay.
So our teacher's the changeling who got brought in.
Our
Right,
teacher. Okay.
that's
I
what we know.
understand. Thank you, Kallum, for clarifying that for me because all of the Fae names get
Yes, I
muddled in
I
my.
kept mixing up
I can
the two
neither
teachers
write
as well.
nor say either of the teachers' names.
We love to see it. Okay, so that's fine. All right. So I know the T because I'm the golden child. Um,
Are they still looking at the piece of art in silence?
Um, yeah, like, but like not just the normal social step apart, the normal social step apart, and then some.
Does it look like would I guess um Maxil looks uh to your character, Gilly, and looks like, are you gonna go do something? Because if you don't go do something, I will.
I think Hayes kind of shrugs a shoulder, like, good,
I get this.
okay.
Swan and zone over. What art are they looking at?
It's a painting from one of the like. It's not just you six. There are like two or three more aspiring young artists, and it's like a painting of a. It's something. It's kind of a bird of paradise with gold flowing down their head and into their eyes, and their chest is halfway ripped apart, and feathers are falling out of the canvas.
There's like an expression around the way that the art is like we observe the art, we are looking at it, but it refuses to stay in the frame. It's pushing its way out. It's as if there are feelings inside the artist that they want to express but can't. Maybe it's around the body, maybe it's around the ideas of beauty, maybe it's the idea of paradise. Is paradise just a lie that like we force on ourselves, these boxes of paradise that we wish for but can't express? I get something from this. How do you two feel about it? Off and Pfoff?
Um, Sevilla turns around to you and smiles. Sevilla, beautiful woman, a lot smaller than Xella. Uh, shining, long, silver white hair going down to her waist. A beautiful, beautiful white gown with a kind of a poof skirt, but like not. It's not like over the top. Looks at you, smiles. I think I like it. I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary, in my opinion. We have seen similar things before, but each and every person has their own way of expressing what they feel. And Xella looks at her, looks at you, looks at the painting. It's like watching someone scream with their mouth closed. All the effort, none the impact.
But is that not the impact itself? Huh? Watching the scream without sound. You can see it in the art. It's an expression that is unexpressible. It is trying to resist the box it's been put in, but can't escape it. And as sad as that is for the artist, it is also wonderful to look at.
Sevilla laughs, reaches out, and tousles your hair a bit. You're one of the smart ones, aren't you? Stella, my dear, I see where you got them.
Ah, no, I chose.
You chose.
Yeah. I looked for a art tutor, a mentor, and I chose who I thought would give me the most complete experience. The one who would challenge me, the one who would allow me to feel that there were others examining art in the way that I did. A teacher who would not just make me an artist, but push me to be the complete personification of my artistic intent.
Well, I'm glad you found a teacher, and I can't wait to see your work. And you look over to Xella. Give me a charms roll, another one.
Yeah, come on. 6.
Xella doesn't look at you, but you see that tiny, tiny, like shimmer of a chance of a smile on her lips.
Aww.
Can I get you a drink, Prof?
Well, the gallery's about to open, so I'd say we watch your artwork, and afterwards we will all get a drink.
Yeah, just a quick question about that. Who's going last?
Um, I there was a schedule somewhere. Xella just pulls the list, like just summons the list out of thin air. Um, your your changeling seems to be last. The violinist.
I would really appreciate the chance to go last.
Fine by me. Sevilla. Oh yeah. I will talk to them. And they just scratch your name and put you on the bottom of the list.
Oh, yeah.
and the gates open. Everybody who's anybody of the fairy realm starts to come in, a flood of colors and faces, and very important people. And how all of this will go down, we will see after a small 10 minutes break. Welcome back, everybody, from our wonderful little break. And now it is time for the grand opening. So,
Grand
Sim,
opening.
yeah, the grand opening trademark. All rights reserved. Since Callum's character asked to be last, and we already saw Masha's piece, I just say you would have been first, and I want to ask all of you again a check. I can offer you charms, fight, or flight.
Charm.
I want to pick fight. I haven't rolled one of those yet.
I'll pick flight. There we go. We all pick our own little special thing.
Yeah. I'll punch somebody for
Oh.
my art. Not really, but
So I rolled badly, but I have like a million adversity tokens. I have 5 at present. So can I spend like all of them? I don't know.
What
You
did you
can
roll?
spend.
I rolled a 2, which is in keeping with my day.
You can get up to a 5 and get some information. The next threshold would be 8, and you can't reach that with your adversity
Well,
tokens
never mind.
already.
I'll just live in ignorance. It's fine. I'm fine.
But you can
Everything's
take
fine.
another one. You rolled charm, right?
I did.
The mood is good. Like, usually when people get into those gallery thingies, everybody's like a bit tense. But the mood is good. Everything's fine. Everybody's happy. A lot of people are very impressed by Masha's art. But like the champagne is flowing, the chatter is pleasant. Good, good day.
We're
Maybe a bit,
vibing.
yeah, but maybe a good bit too much of a vibe.
Oh dear.
But it could also just be that you're nervous. Could be.
I am very nervous. That's true.
Okay, Happy, what did you roll?
so I rolled a 4, but I do have adversity tokens. So you said like is the threshold like 5?
5, 8, 10, 15, 20.
Okay. I will spend 1 adversity token to get to a 5
With fight.
with fight. Yeah.
There is that changeling boy again. Practically sticking to your heels.
I don't like it. I don't like it. He's either wants to flirt with me or he wants to steal my artwork, and I honestly don't know which is worse in character. So I'm like, I don't trust this. Because anyone
Um,
who wants to flirt with me, um, uh, uh, must be wanting to flirt with me for ulterior motives. So he either has ulterior motives or he has ulterior motives.
well, we shall not know right now. But you notice he stays close by.
Right. I will keep my eye
Sometimes
on him.
just brushing, walking, like next to you, brushing your arm as if by accident.
Yep. So, can I
Do the rest
say
of us notice this?
We will see what you roll.
can I say that uh is my lizard allowed to be with me in the gallery or familiars not allowed?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can I say that he likes to spend time on my shoulder, sometimes kind of like almost partially hidden by my hair. Can he like can I have him like keep an eye on that one so I don't have to like look at him? But if that changeling boy comes closer or like leaves, if he like stops following me, I also want to know that. Just
Mhm.
have him like help me out, just like poke me in the neck or something if he notices when I'm so I don't have to like look like I'm obviously staring at him the whole time.
So we're having a full-on gothic tangled moment of you just walking along and the very not happy lizard.
Yes. Gothic.
I'm watching you, Kowalski.
Yeah. Sir
Um,
Sparklethorn is very, very dedicated to his duties as my protector. He's a
absolutely.
dragon trapped in a tiny reptile's body, and he shall be treated as such with the proper decorum from myself
With
and
the proper
everyone.
decorum.
Yes, he is a knight of the order
That's
of
why he's a sir.
the reptiles. Yes, of the reptilian order. He is sir.
So, Callum, what did you roll?
11 on flight.
Do you have adversity tokens to bump you up to a 15?
No, I've only got 2. I'm saving them.
Does anybody else want to chip in?
Sure, I've got 6. How many do you need?
Oh, that's a lot to give.
Eh, it's okay. I'll make more next time I roll. It's fine. It's an infinite resource.
Um, you actually this is great because you know how to critique art, right? Right. It's your thing. You know how you know when people are really saying their opinion or if they're just talking pretentious bullshit. And there's this fine, beautiful line in between where people talk pretentious bullshit and sell it as their own opinion. And it is pretty hard to lie as a fae. But you hear the whispers of the critics around you about Masha's art. Um, next one is like a very fine and intricate metalwork the Fulborg did. That's like it's a tiny plate and with a big looking glass over it so people can see what's actually on there. And you hear even for benevolent critics, you hear a lot of good things. Like normally it's a thing between critics that they rip each other into pieces and just say no because the other one said yes. Everybody's kind of saying yes. And it tips you off because that's not how this whole thing rolls. That's mm-mm, mm-mm.
Spectacle. It's all spectacle, but it's one-dimensional, despite the form being unique and multi-layered. All of it is just one visual input. The lighting is impressive, the water's impressive, but actually, it's just some pretty lights. There is it's constructed on a reflection of a piece of art that a natural phenomenon trying to be recaptured through these facsimiles. But actually, we just have a facsimile. It is a attempt at reproducing something only in a visual way when the experience of seeing that thing in real life isn't just the sight of the lights, it's the atmosphere, it's the place that you go to, it's the sound, it's the feeling in the air, and none of that's present. All I'm seeing is a reflection of something I'd rather go see.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask a flight check of you. And Han, you better roll good.
I don't think I lied. I don't think I said any untruths. Cool. Not good enough. I spent
Uh,
2 adversity tokens to re-roll that 10.
Did you spend my 4? I'm just
I
tracking.
did spend your 4, yeah.
Okay. I still have 2 left.
15!
honey, you're in danger. You say these words, and the hair on your neck zip up. And it's not, danger is a wide word, right? Right. Danger isn't just, oh dang it, there's a tiger, it's gonna eat me. Danger can be that one moment where you said something you can't take back, and it's gonna have the consequence, as Magpie once so wonderfully put. The consequences have to quench. And you just stepped into something dangerous you didn't know was there. Like you feel a metaphorical trap snap around you. And on top of that, you see Masha standing next to their work, and you see her little smile fall, and she starts playing with her hair even more and doesn't meet your eye anymore.
Sorry, I just wanted to give a different opinion.
There's a moment of quiet with a dry cough as you just apologized in front of the whole fairy court.
Unlike I this is a fantastic work, but it is worth pointing out the construct and constraints of it. That's what we're here to do. I'm a fan of the art, which is why I'm giving it the critique.
There's no answer. People just start turn away, not from the artwork, from you. And nobody gives you a you're welcome to let you out of the depth.
It's okay. I'll pay it off of my piece of work.
And the last one to leave is Masha, who looks at you, wants to say something, then looks away and leaves too.
Now, I have a question.
Mhm.
Um, so obviously we must have been there, like
Yeah.
witnessing this happen, and we know our temperamental, fellow art student, and this is probably not out of the ordinary of a rant. All right. So, seeing everybody else turn away and nobody engage, do I feel any sort of compulsion to do the same? Um, or instinct to do the same that feels unfamiliar to me?
Ooh, a good question. Um, what I mean, what you feel is the bandwagon driving away, and you have the choice: either you jump on it or you stay behind with them.
Okay.
And your piece has not been presented yet.
No, 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 no. Go ahead, please. Don't let my impoliteness and mistakes, the grand court, drag you two down to my level.
There was another place in there, Kallum.
I think Hayes does go up to you at that point and just kind of pats you on the shoulder.
Yeah. I will go up. I'll kind of just stop by. I mean, like, I feel like I have to follow because I still have to present my artwork. But I will say,
Oh,
and like, as I will say to you, you have nothing to be sorry for from me for expressing an opinion, and then I leave. So I don't know if how what I want to do mechanically is forgive the sorry, but like specifically from me, if like
Mhm.
if it requires from everybody. So I want them to know that, they've got it from me. It's because I'm like, I'm sensing something a little bit weird about the situation, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's try to figure this out. And I feel like, we have to a little bit stick together because something is not quite right.
I'm talking about something not quite right. Um, roll me a grit check, all of you.
Grit. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I'm actually
How
not
do you
terrible at
even
grit.
grit?
All right.
Okay.
All right. That is an 8 on grit from me.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Add your magic die.
All right.
Yay, Caltrop.
Yay.
Oh, it
Oh,
exploded
that's an
again.
explosion. Yep. Me too.
Oh, it exploded again.
Woohoo! Explode that magic.
25.
Jesus Christ.
I have a 13 with exploding magic.
14 with exploded magic twice.
Nice.
Okay. So what all of you realize is, well, Xala has a lot of faults. She's an arrogant, uptight bitch, and she absolutely can be a hypocrite and asking of others things she's not doing herself. But what Xala is known for, absolutely known for in the whole Feywild, is that she protects her students like a fucking lioness. And this would have been one of the moments where she would have stepped forward.
Where is she? Is the question. Is she in the crowd or is she not there?
You didn't see her. And Kallum, your character is used to getting yourself like Xala is the epiphany of nobody talks shit about my students except I. And we had these situations before quite a few times. You had to talk about it quite a few times. Um, but you can do what you do because you're under Xala's protection, and this was just okay. We're gonna play just gonna play the game again. The sparrow gonna chirp, and the crow's gonna come in if somebody has something to say. She didn't come.
Go join the procession. I am last. I'll go figure out what the fuck is going on.
All right.
Consider this a
Mm.
favor, if you will.
Do we have a way for long distance communication? A
No,
magical way?
you don't.
Okay.
I am a golden child, and as such, I have a special affinity for where people that I can suck up to are in a room. Um, go see if I can find our beloved professor.
Where would you look for her?
Um, I mean, I guess I answered that question with the question, where's the last place I saw her?
At the
Like, where
painting work
was
Sevilla.
Okay. I guess I'll start kind of looking into side rooms, and work my way towards the crowd, but be kind of looking around corners to see if I
Mhm.
can find.
I have a thought though. I wanted to kind of going back into the group while I see my peers, kind of like splitting around off. Where's the rival professor? Is she in the group?
She is in the crowd, yeah.
Okay. And is Mr. Changeling um still hanging out with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I think maybe I will sidle a little bit closer and see if because to see as if I can perhaps make it seem like I'm not trying to like go stand next to the professor and like the students, but like I'm ingratiating myself into the group and just I'll just want to try to keep an eye and see if she tries to leave the crowd so that I would notice if she like leaves or like hangs back or something.
Okay, give me a charm roll to do so elegantly.
Stealthily, yes. Okay. Charms is something I'm not incredibly good at. Oh boy, that is in fact a 2.
Okay, cool. So what's happening is you basically go up to them, and even though see, this just was a very difficult
Open
situation.
open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah, and with that, you just like people notice it, and instead of
Mm.
oh, okay, we're just going along, they see you associating with the rival of your professor after one of her students just had a
Mm.
social faux pas.
Oh, see, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they are
that's
there.
not a great look.
People, for you, you're an aspiring artist. Artists are allowed to be opportunistic. It's a bad look for Xala.
Mm, yeah. Well, are we still looking at the metalwork?
Yeah,
Can I like, try to pass it off as I'm trying to talk to the is it Falls something? The
the
artist
Fallborg.
Fallborg? Okay, yeah. Because, I can also touch iron, and so, just should try to be like try to pass it off as, like, I'm interested in asking about how, like, they handled the iron, and
Um,
as a kind of just a cover story.
they look at you for a minute, and I mean minute, like a full
Mhm.
minute, absolutely silent. And when you think, okay, never mind, it was a absolutely stupid idea, they start talking in an astounding speed about anything they ever did. And basically, what they did is they made their own, like they made the chisel themselves, and they like go into smithing. Like you just unlock somebody talking about a special interest. They tell you every detail. How they made this one specific window on this one specific house and why they did it.
Honestly, I feel like I would probably actually be interested in the conversation if they're especially if they start talking about if they handmade tools to do specific parts of things, because I also use a metal tool. So maybe that's something that is interesting to me. So I feel like I would actually probably pay attention to that and try to pick up, like, on the whole, like, how they use different tools to make the different parts of it.
Well, you are deep into artist talk. Um, Gilly, we are going back to the painting where Xala was, and Xala isn't there.
Yeah, can I keep like looking in side rooms because I presume some of the art is like off to the side in different rooms, like um
I've
Mhm.
I've got a I've got a thing at the painting.
Yeah.
I take out my lantern, is my
Mhm.
magical source, and um, I'd love to do some Fey nonsense.
Oh, please do some Fey nonsense. I'm all here for the Fey
I would
nonsense.
love to see if the lantern can guiding light me to my professor. That I
Mhm.
use it to reveal from where she went, what direction she left from this space. So what it is like a wooden lantern with panels, and the panels can like um either be see-through or they can like um kind of fog up so the light isn't let through. Usually that would be done with like material that I put in, but because it's magical, it does its own thing. So I just would like to focus on my professor from this position and try and use the light to guide me in the direction that they went.
Mhm. What would you roll for that? What are you offering? Or you know what? If we're talking Fey nonsense, I will offer you a deal. You can roll. You can offer me something to roll, or you spend a bit of the concentration and like collective focus you had for your artwork and spend it here and you're allowed to take points off your Magnus Opum for succeeding this role.
Fey nonsense.
My teacher said this wasn't a competition, and I should honor that. I will take points off my magnum opus. Find my professor.
Okay, how many points do you want to spend?
Have I got a budget of 39?
Got a budget of 39 from Fey Nonsense Magic.
My god, I rolled so low on that. I'm so depressed.
I'll spend 9.
30 is still a very good roll. So, what does it look and feel like as your character steps into the story that is their own to change reality?
My character is a spirit of inspiration, a muse, if you will. And they find inspiration in the story of their professor, the rumor and the truth, and um their character that they perform, whether they know it or not. Stick up their ass is a mask. It's a very good mask, but it is a mask. So I kind of start to follow that, and as I do, the lantern starts to like rotate in my hand, and one of the planes of glass takes the shape of her outline and shines through it in the direction I need to go.
So you follow basically following her shadow.
Yeah.
You are a wise person to know that all that uptightness is a mask. And I'd say you're willing to give up something from yourself to find her. You hear something that answers. And since Sala is a changeling, which if you didn't know before, you do know now, that's something not a lot of people know, but for a changeling to become a changeling from just a human child, they have to give something away. And the shadow you're following is Sala's incapability to relate to others. And you feel that as a coldness in yourself, that you're desperately, yeah, like for a second, you feel her, that coldness that you're desperately trying to somehow bridge with art and bleeding your emotions. You feel all the time in yourself, somehow on the canvas, but it's never enough. No matter what you do, it's never enough. But you feel her. She is in the painting.
God damn it. I don't starts looking at the painting. Teach. I'm here. I am going to try and help you. And I don't know how, which is part of the experience of this. We're in this together, right? So, uh, I meant what I said earlier, you know? Obviously, I did. I can't be making any more 4 powers in this bloody court. I'll be dead by Tuesday if that's right. Um, so like, I really appreciate you, and I would really appreciate that you can just focus on that for me. Um, uh, looks around for their friends like, "Eek, where's the rest of my team?"
Would I like see them doing this over in the corner, or am I too deep in metal talk?
Ooh, I'd say roll. What am I? Yeah, roll a grit check.
All
Roll
right.
to withstand like willpower to withstand getting lost in the sauce.
Okay, I actually rolled a 10.
That's enough.
Okay.
Mostly because you also feel the magic.
Mhm.
Like fey magic is a powerful thing.
Yep, and I'm like, "Oh, my idiot co-student." I'm not out loud. I'm not gonna say this out loud to the person, but I'm just in my head. I'm like, "My idiot co-student is doing magic right now. I should probably see what that's up." Right.
Um, you find them in front of the picture of the bird of paradise that's
Mhm.
bleeding feathers all over the floor.
Be like, "I thought you hated this painting."
I said only good things about it, but now I don't like it because our teacher's stuck inside.
So it's got like the feathers coming out of the middle of it, right? I'm gonna look and I'm
Yeah,
like,
there's a hole in the painting where the feathers keep falling out.
I wonder what would happen if I stabbed it. I'm not going to. I'm gonna say
Don't
this out loud to
stab it!
him. I'm not going
Gosh!
to. But I wonder if that would make things better or worse.
Your obsession
Uh,
with death is a danger to everyone.
Look,
yeah,
that
I would love
canvas.
you to roll a flight check because that wasn't sound like people gonna hear.
All right. Okay, that is a 2. Well, I am blunt. I said I'm not going to, but I wonder artistically, how what would happen with something with feathers coming out of the hole like that. It just makes me curious.
Still quite a few heads turn, even more so after Maxill's out little escapade, as another one of Salah's students just flat out said, "I wonder what would happen if I stabbed this painting from another artist."
Who has painted this?
But you don't see a name.
There's no plaque.
There's no plaque.
You're a wood nymph, right?
Depends on who's asking.
How good are you with vines?
I mean, they're not really wood, but sometimes, I can maybe ask if they want to talk. I don't know. They don't Vines don't normally talk to me. They just sometimes I'll get like, yeah, I'm a leaf looking for some sun. Where to get some?
You know, like in some art galleries, they've got like little ropes between stands to like
Are you
to
asking? Oh,
cordon things off.
yeah, rope.
Can I make a rope out of them and then climb into the painting with the rope wrapped around my waist?
First of all, I was gonna say, um, ropes are not vines, and rope is made from woven fibers, which are different from vines. So definitely outside my purview if there's rope there. And I'm
I
honestly offended that you would even ask.
I wasn't going to ask you to turn vines into rope. I was going to ask you to use the vines as a cord between me and this side of the painting.
I didn't even know there were vines there.
I thought you could summon them. I don't know
I did
how
not say
wood
I could
nymphs work.
summon vines. I said
I
I
was
could
asking you
talk
if
to
you
them.
could.
No, you asked. And I said I could talk to
Can
them
I
sometimes.
Can I assume that I hear this argument from where I'm currently looking
Oh,
for
everybody's hearing. Everybody's hearing you loudly, loudly
should
discuss
we
over vines and
should
interacting with a piece of art.
perhaps we might lower the volume slightly. Can I help
Sorry,
you in
what
any
was
way?
that? I didn't hear you.
All right. Well,
Is
if
that
you
a
would like, you
lie?
can.
Oh, it was too quiet.
All right, carry on.
Think you're lying about lying. Um, I delightful. Well, is it possible that I might be able to stop this argument from continuing at quite the level that it currently is?
Can you cook rope?
Hook rope.
See, now you know why I'm upset.
In the metaphysical sense? Is this
Feel
an idiom?
free to join
This
me
is
in
this is
berating.
I need rope
For what purpose?
so I could go in the painting and get our professor back. Because someone over there has put our teacher in a painting.
I think I look over to kind of verify this. And do I see our
You
teacher
don't,
in the painting?
you don't see shit.
Did
I
you
think it's a piece
perhaps
of performance
partake of
art.
some of the more experimental snack options?
No, I. If no one chooses to believe me, that is their choice to make.
Would you
However,
like can I magic a rope? Is that a thing that I can do?
Um, give me a good reason.
Can I make a spaghetti rope? Shout
I
out to
see
spaghetti
Cat.
red thread.
famously easy to break.
No, it's fine.
Do you want it cooked?
I mean, it would have to be or it would be too brittle. It's al
If you cook it,
dente.
it might snap.
It's al dente.
Okay.
Baguette. Could it be a really long baguette instead?
No.
Ugh, I'm doomed.
Okay.
Yeast is alive when you bake it, you know. Yeast breads are just another form of death art. I respect that.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
You can offer me a roll, but it's gonna be a hard roll because you're making it out of thin air,
Right.
or you take stuff out of your artwork.
No, I can't afford to take stuff out of my artwork. I rolled really badly on that. Um, so I'm going to create a spaghetti, I think out of probably a conciliatory nature. I will make one of the ribbons in it bread based. Um, uh I would like to make a case for this being well, I've consistently rolled badly on all of these. So let's see.
Yeah, Gilly,
Uh,
please tell me. Please, please help me as the DM. What is the attribute you want to roll for summoning a baguette?
a spaghetti baguette.
Oh,
Thank
entschuldigung,
you.
for summoning a spaghetti rope. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Spaghetti
Baguette.
is its full name. Thank
We
you.
had 2 hours of like legit fail stuff, and then there came the spaghetti.
It was
This-
always a countdown to when I started summoning pasta. Let's be honest with ourselves. Um,
it was always a
I would like to
countdown to when
roll brains. I'm gonna roll this polar bear die, which those playing along at home do not know this yet, but I found and I have no idea where it came from.
Gilly,
So
explain me how you use your brain to summon a
that's
spaghetti.
where the magic is, Bard. The magic is in my brain.
Okay, the magic is in your brain. You're using your cognitive powers to will
Remember
spaghetti
what
into
bread looks
existence.
like.
I mean,
Um,
it is your part of art, so I will allow you to add your magic die. But I will tell you, the DC for even a facility to appear is high.
Can I also say I am trained in, so that would be a +1. This is like culinary magic, which is like my thing, right? So, um,
Yeah, sure.
that was cocked. Yay! Um, that's a 19 plus 3, so a 22.
Okay.
Do I need
Plus
to add adversity tokens? Is that gonna help me?
22. If you give me 3 adversity tokens,
I only have
it
2
will work
adversity
out just
tokens.
fine.
I have 1. I kind
And
of
I
want
have
this to succeed. Yeah, I will give you my
Okay.
adversity token.
I'm spending all of my adversity tokens and also my kind friend's adversity token.
Because
Are we
this
are we
is
hitting the
yeast
25?
bread.
Yes.
All right. Yep.
Okay. Gilly, I have no idea how this works. Explain to me how you summon a spaghetti rope.
So my fork, which has chocolate in it, um, is I think it kind of swirls and it almost looks like very tridenty as I kind of swirl it, and it looks like probably it looks a little like fog, but it's actually flour. And I whip it up and then like one of those pasta extruders, each each part of the fork. I can't remember. I used to know
Heinz.
tines.
Heinz.
Yeah, I used to know that word. Um, gives like some form of bread pasta amalgamation, and they weave together. Um, and float float over, and I say, "Here you go."
Great. Thanks so much.
Might
Put it
I
around my waist.
make a suggestion? Now, I may be blunt, but I'm not impulsive. What if can we like take the end of just your creation and like dip it in the hole and then pull it back out to make sure that it comes out the same way that it went in before you stick your entire
That
self
sounds
inside the hole?
that sounds like a good idea. I grab my board, which is just a board of like of 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 wood. So it's like a plane of wood that's been cut out really roughly that I use to ride around. It's just
So
a
a dead
board.
tree.
Doesn't have wheels. It's just a dead tree. And I jump into the painting.
On the spaghetti rope?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I made
you
a
do have the
suggestion.
connection.
You
He didn't no they didn't use it.
I am both blunt and reckless.
Bard, I have to ask, you told us that you prepared for this. Did you prepare for this precise scenario?
No, no, I sat there for half an hour writing out like artsy insults that Xala could throw at you. But then I didn't really had a lot of them because you started just throwing dirt at each other. And now Xala's gone in a cursed painting, and you're not skateboarding because a skateboard has wheels into it on a pasta spaghetti rope. I don't know, Jilly, should I have prepared for this?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a lack of forethought on your part,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. So, you fall into the painting, and at first you feel like a tiny bit of it, like of it going against you, and then you fall through that, and you fall and fall and fall.
How long is the spaghetti rope?
I'd say with a 25 as long as we need it.
Okay. So we just see
Yo,
it start to
teach!
uncoil and go in, and I'm like, you think we should maybe hold on to
It's
Yo,
wrapped around my
teach!
fork.
You in here?
You still
Oh,
have that connection because you're following her shadow, the thing she's never gonna get rid of. Um, and you find her. Um, or you find who she was. A scared little Celtic boy.
Hi, Prof.
You're not sure she recognizes you. And I mean, every fairy spirit in this world is basically uh, a wild beast in humanoid shape. And you see that the fear of being in here actually made her not full on materialized bestial attributes, but you see feathers along her neck, like not quite there yet, not quite going back, somewhere between being herself, being her past, and being the silver crow that is her title.
I say to the young Celt, "You want to see something cool?"
Yeah.
I then do a kickflip on the board.
The board doesn't have wheels, Kallum.
It doesn't have wheels, but it
it's magic.
still lets me kickflip it.
All right. That would be brawn. I'd say kickflip is a brawn.
Can I convince you it's flight?
If we put the DC higher and you do a backflip.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, surely it's flight if everything goes wrong, right?
I would say a kickflip is less about strength and more about the dexterity. Um, Come on, big numbers. 11.
You it's not the I mean you started with want to see something real cool, and I'm not sure if you achieved that, but you don't land on your face in the middle of the black nothingness.
That's good enough for me.
And
I
yeah, she just
see. Uh, right now, I just made a fool of myself, and that's okay. That's cool with me. And I'm in a world that doesn't let me do that. If I make a fool of myself out there, bad things happen, and guess what? Happens a bit, quite a bit, and that's ooh shit. Sorry for swearing in front of a youngin. Um, I would also probably, if I was wise, stay here as well because I keep on making mistakes, both in my actions and just saying words. Um, so it's real easy to stick here and like let it all be too much. But right now, me and two of your students are giving up our chance at whatever gift or glory is to be gained from this whole bizarre shite to help you because you're our like guiding light through all this. And without you, what's the point of doing it, right? Like, yeah, the point of art is doing art itself and all this nonsense. But like, you got us to this point. So like, I don't care if it all goes wrong. All I care about is that we can try and make you happy, proud, or whatever form of that that you can portray without giving away the mask.
I try, you know. I say the words, but they just come out wrong. Didn't know how to come. uh, Is that a spaghetti around your waist?
Yes.
And you see, even in this much, much younger form, you see this smirk that's at this time actually is a smirk, crooked, lopsided, like, and it's so weird to see that as the person you do recognize as Xala. You are all of you insane.
So maybe stop trying to get it right. Let's just be. And if that being burns this whole place to the ground, great.
I asked you if I'm supposed to call the fire mages.
I'm not gonna burn anything. I've created a Gewürztramswerk.
Help me out of here. And she reaches out for you.
Take the hand. Now hold on. You know what? I don't. Yeah. Let's let's go. I tug on the spaghetti.
So
I
I like
twirl
to
it.
imagine that like we're just standing out there, we have no idea what's going on, and then spaghetti just stops, and it's just like, oh my god, are they dead?
I twirl it up on my fork wand.
Okay, so you know what? Magic 25. Let's go with it. You twirl a truly ginormous ball of spaghetti on your tiny little fork. It is small. Um, and you twirl, and with that twirl back Maxiel and Xella out of the cursed painting. And as you pull both of them out, uh, the little shield under it with the information appears again. Um, and this picture was made by Xala.
By our teacher.
By your teacher a very long time ago.
Told you it would work.
I'm honestly very impressed by your pasta.
People are surprised at the tensile strength of spaghetti.
You know, I mean, though, but it's made from flour. Flour is just dead plants. So
Aren't we all really
Dude,
dead plants
what?
when it comes down to it?
we eat them. We are what we eat.
The world of face sees you two talking about dead plants and spaghetti in the background on the ground. Maxine and Xala both going,
You know what? Think all my bluster has already come undone. I I I had a really cool line about you finally broken outside the frame of the painting, but it's now pointless. Um, we go show off or attempt to anyway.
I want to ask one question first, and I
"Hmm?
want to ask our teacher if she knows if anybody pushed her into the painting. Because if she wills it, I will stab a bitch.
She nods. I don't know who. But I also know that this is a charade. This is theater right here because the critics have been bought. So
That makes sense.
if they want to stand against us, As I said it before, I expect nothing but perfection from my students.
And you will have it. I'm gonna stab a bitch.
So, you're right, Kallum.
No stabbing before the end. As much as I hate this whole palaver, I put a lot of work into my consultant's work.
Fine. I will not probably, unless given extreme reason to, stab anyone with my wand until after
We can like
your art
stab
is done.
without stabbing. Like we can use metaphor in the way that we surpass the court's expectations. I can't because I currently owe them all something. But you lot can.
You what?
I said the words I always keep saying.
Oh, Maxi.
There was a lot of talking.
We can't do certain things, but we've got to be polite. And that's how I know being polite.
And I think the
Spirits have
violinist is
mercy on your
flirting with
soul.
me. That makes me uncomfortable.
Use it. What are you doing?
And I turn around, is he still there? Saying bye?
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, he's coming back towards you.
Be like,
How handsome is this changeling?
Yes.
I don't care if it's a manipulation game. Get it.
you know what happens to wood nymphs
don't
when people
think-
flirt with us? We turn into trees to avoid their advances. Okay? I would really like to continue.
You're the one giving them wood.
Once again, I would
can
like to
manipulate
ask
that type of wood.
that perhaps if we are plotting, we maybe lower the volume.
This isn't plotting. This is being a wing person. Get it?
I have
I'm gonna look and
some
be like,
ideas.
you have nice calluses. I respect the calluses
I,
on
I
their hands.
I'm amused, and I've not heard of that kink before.
No, but it's not a kink. It just means that people who have calluses work hard, okay? You have to work really hard to get those calluses, okay? You know,
Oh,
you
I'm
can't
sure
just
it'll
be
be a
like,
very nice and long evening for both of you, and you'll be putting a lot of work in.
At this
I think-
point, I want to say that even though I do have a reputation, this time it wasn't me.
I think Hayes has walked away at this point because this is not conducive to Hayes's plan.
all right. And I don't even know what the schedule is, whose turn is next, but I'm guessing it's probably one of us soon. So we should probably, go knock their socks off or whatever Fae people wear on their feet when they're not barefoot.
It would be actually yours. Happy.
Okay.
Panic.
All right. So, all right, and I am assuming that people are like looking at my art, waiting for me to like kind of come over there. Be like, okay, so I'll be like, okay, game face. I don't even care about all of them. This is not a competition. This is a slaughter. Metaphorically. And I'm just gonna kind of like walk right up and stand next to the tree and say, this is dead inside, like all of us.
What is your artwork?
It is a fallen tree, and I've taken the fallen tree. The roots are still on the end, and then the rest of the trunk is going up. And I've just carved a bunch of animals and nature scenes that are full of life into it.
What you see is the critics waiting for you to say more. When there is nothing more, they start to whisper among themselves.
I will glare at them.
What you hear, what you have never heard before in your life is the following.
They
Make
are
Salah
laughing
laugh
at me.
with that dry deliverance.
That is worth more to me than any of the other critics in the room. And I will stare them down one by one.
The way this works is since you now have Xella with you and her patronage and her influence, we will add a tiny bit to your roll.
Hmm.
You get a +10.
Okay, to my magnum opus roll?
Yeah,
Okay, which was like I think I had a
30,
33.
35.
35. So now you're
35.
at 45.
All right.
And even though the critics have been bought, you made an impression. There's no way to. I mean, all of your classmates are used to your "we're dead inside" talk, but for people, the highest of the faith, a wood nymph standing there just saying, "We're all dead inside,"
I
like
see,
it's
I
a
can't pull off
challenge.
the deadpan expression myself out of character because I'm just laughing too much. I'm just like,
They're talking, and they will be talking, and you know it. Um, we will, out of time reasons, jump a few unimportant, not named characters. We see some paintings, we see some sculptures, we see some acting, pretty good acting, some singing, and so on and so on. Um, Gilly.
So Hayes steps forward and says, as many of you know, it is my ethos that food is art. And when food is art, it is not meant to be simply tasted. It is meant to be experienced. Um and so you're brought into a room that has an entire landscape of food. Um, and it is hyper realistic to the Feywild, down to there's um moving like licorice trains and rivers that are made of various unidentifiable amalgamations of substances, and it is moving and breathing and there is a volcano at one end that is created out of what is probably unidentifiable but is actually like mashed potatoes mixed with like chocolate, probably, to create like the texture. And there's you can see lava bubbling inside the volcano, and there's steam coming off of it. And then, as Hayes kind of explains, this is to show the beauty of life, that it is constantly moving, adapting. It is something other than ourselves. It is larger than all of us. We are insignificant in the face of such majesty, and it is that insignificance that makes our viewing of it significant. And then she pauses, kind of let that sink in like it's the deepest thing that has ever been said. And says, what I wanted with my piece was not only to show the beauty, but also the volatility of nature. And then the volcano is bubbling behind her, and it erupts into various sprays of different things, including spices, and is the different spices are swirling around above the heads of everybody in the room. And a lot of it goes back onto the tables, but the people in the room that Hayes especially does not like get like a giant clump of cinnamon in their hair or like oregano all over their shoes. And then the lava, which has it's kind of separated, the lava has kind of separated into its distinct pieces. And I think that our professor's rival just gets like a steady drip, drip, drip of the unidentifiable lava substance on her head. And then she says, "Nature is red in tooth and claw." And then that's the end of her presentation.
I'm gonna roll. You see Xala looking at you and raising an eyebrow, almost as if she were asking if she could join in something.
Oh, for sure. I think Hayes just smiles.
Bro, what was your roll again?
I rolled an 18.
An 18?
Mhm. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, Xala rolled an 18 on her die and a 4 on her magic die, as
Hey.
which bumps you up to 40, also up to 40.
Yeah.
As she
I'm the
takes a
golden
cue from
child.
as she takes a cue from you, and the brutality of nature turns a tiny bit more brutal right now. And uh, I I can't remember the name, but do you remember that I believe that festival where everybody is sprayed with colors?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it's holy, right? Uh
Yeah. And all those people have such expensive dresses.
Maxwell sees this coming and ducks for cover.
Absolutely, yeah. Nothing's aiming directly at you. Like everybody's gets a tiny bit, but I mean, Sevilla was wearing white. No, she isn't. Not at all. She's
Turns to
laughing
like the
about it.
nearest person. Not the first time they've got each other dirty.
Like, gossip all you like, but not about our teacher.
So, with all of that wonderful fun, uh, after that is the changeling boy who plays his violin beautifully. Makes several like he's Mr. Charming Boy, but he's just good. Makes some people cry, which is impressive because most of them are like whole ass critics who never cried in their life. It's sweet. It's honest.
He brings the sorrow from the dead wood.
You know what? Do you say that out loud?
Uh I will, as long as but I might glance at our teacher first to see if she might be mad at me if I do.
She do Xala can't read your mind.
Okay, that's true. I mean, I'm a wood carver, and this is a neutral statement. People could take it positively or negatively, so whatever. I'll say it out loud. Sure, I'll say it out loud.
All right. He takes it with a smile and tells you you're right.
Hey.
And basically connects the pieces of you and him together to kind of push both of you a tiny bit more.
Oh boy.
Because death is the universal experience. It's the one thing that binds us together no matter how far we're apart.
And no matter how immortal we may seem,
That is true.
even the great trees of the forest experience it at some point.
Um, and after another wonderful little thing that wasn't flirting at all, Kallum,
Not flirting. It's art talk, man.
We've
that's what the
seen
kids call it now.
some fantastic pieces today. Final products that, in their presentation, are a final perfect thing. I say, not good enough. That ain't what art's about. Art isn't the final product, and we're too obsessed with it. The problem with everyone else's pieces is that they weren't Gesundheitsworks. But I am about to present you a Gesundheitswork. If you follow me, and they lead to basically a box, the front door, that the teacher will recognize from earlier as the front door to Maxill's apartment. They open the door, and there is a perfect replica of their apartment, which is like a bedroom, but mostly an art studio with lots of half completed works on the walls and a desk full of ideas and like a bin full of discarded notes. However, unlike the room earlier, in the center of the room is a pedestal. And once everyone arrives into the room, now Gesfonsson's work is a complete piece of art that combines multiple mediums. But I argue that a Gesfonsson's work does not go far enough in its definition. I would argue that a Gesfonsson's work should contain the entirety of the art from point of creation to its final form. When we see a piece of work, we could argue that the creator of the work is dead in that moment because no matter what we say, we cannot understand the true context of the piece of work. We can take on ideas that we know about the people and the context that we're given about it, but all of it's meaningless. We don't get a real insight into what this thing was on the way to getting to its final form. Because we love products and we love buying and we love being bought. Anyway, so this is something else. They put the lantern in the middle of the pedestal. As they do, there's like a clunk and it locks into place. And on the top bit of the pedestal, handles come out. This is my process. They click it once, and from it, light fills the room and projects onto the walls of the room all the ideas they had on the process to getting to this place. And they don't just see them, they hear the inner monologue of me making the work. So as you walk around the room, you experience different memories of the construction of the project. Now, the center pillar has multiple locked positions that you can enter. Unfortunately, one is off limits because I would get banned if I showed it. But feel free to switch between the 7 positions that are available to you and experience not just the final product, but the creation of art itself. That is a Gesundheitswork work.
Did you portal us
Kallum,
into your bedroom for
No, it's a
this?
replication.
Okay, good.
I built this bed. I had to take the measurements. It was the last thing I worked on.
Kallum, would you do me a favor? As a German, could you say Gesamtkunstwerk once again?
Yeah. It's a Gesundheitswork.
It's
Excuse
important
me.
for us to
I
bring the
adore
GM
you.
joy. Um, I think Hayes wanders over to the bed and says, "This is very well proportioned."
As you near the bed, you hear the thoughts of Maxil at like 2 in the morning thinking about ideas.
What a
People actually start
terrifying
touching stuff.
mind.
Yep. Each object has its own collection of thoughts.
And while people are going around sitting on your bed that's not your bed, touching your walls, touching your notes, Tara's next to you. May I know what happens if you turn the lantern on number 8?
Oh, it's the inappropriate thoughts. And also, because sometimes it turns out when you have real good sex, you get inspired.
Ah, I see.
Mhm. But we agreed not to put that on display.
I had similar things on display before.
I listen. I will, I will gift everyone. I'll unlock the final setting. Yep, there we go. Don't worry, everyone who uh, appears in a form or another gave me their consent before uh, go. But yeah, if you turn it to the 8th setting, the lights because each setting has a different color light. It's like purple light, and the memories of the various lovers that Maxwell has had in the space, but also like their heartbreak and like the relationships, and the one that got away, and they all kind of form, and like the people can like if they experience the moment, they can choose whether to see it in its entirety or just the feelings. The bed is very horny though.
I think that Hayes backs away from the bed and says, "I should go get a drink." Um, and
I
kind of
want
like,
It's okay. Sorry, keep going.
"No, you're good."
I was gonna say I want to stand directly next to the pedestal. I'm curious, but like morbidly so. I'm like, is the pedestal like a dead space, or there are also horny thoughts about this?
It's in some way a dead space because it is the thing that powers the idea. So like
Mhm.
it the pedestal does give off the design of like how I came up with the pedestal.
Mhm.
And but it's not in the real womb. So
Yeah.
like I've not taken someone on top of it.
Cool. I want to just
However,
continue sitting
the
by the
thought
pedestal and watching everybody else get bombarded with horny thoughts, though. Be
however,
like,
now
"Mhm."
that has been come into Maxwell's head, the thought of, well, that's a new option does occur.
Yep.
Um,
Be like, we've had to live with you and your idiosyncrasies for however many decades we've been students together. Now everybody else gets to too.
But it's unfiltered. It's just me. The mask is gone. The space has removed my mask. I'm exposed. Anyway, that was my best attempt
Um,
at a good book.
I think Hayes comes back with drinks and says, "Expose yourself to this," and just hands drinks.
That's on
And
4.
we'll offer a toast to the group.
No offense to your piece of work. They were brilliant. I
It's all right. They're not a
the
gesundheitete.
Gilliam's work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I prefer, when the art is I don't wanna say dead because that seems weird, but I'm just like,
No,
and
no,
I've
it
been
makes
saying it
perfect
dead.
sense for you to say you prefer the work when it's dead.
Well, when it's on the horny setting, I just all of a sudden got the vibes, and that's not what I wanna say. Just be like,
Oh, I see.
I
I can
prefer
turn
the
the setting.
artwork.
We'll go
I
back
pre
to stage 7. And
No,
stage
no,
7
it's fine, it's fine.
stage 7 ends, the final thing in
Oh,
stage 7 is
oh,
the beginning of last night, where the teacher came in and had a conversation. So
and
it like,
you
it's
did you wreck
recursive.
all your other artwork? Do I get to see them
Yeah,
getting destroyed? Ugh,
yeah.
I
And you find
actually,
out
I'm
that
into that.
the thing last night was an act to get more, um, content for the space.
Mm, yeah,
I'd actually finished my work. I was done. But in pretending to make work, I produced more work.
cyclic.
Well,
You know,
it may
Maxwell
not be a gesund whatever.
is back.
But at least I got to watch people clothes get ruined.
You can watch that here as well.
You know, Maxiel, I always invite people to display their emotions. I never meant it that directly, but this is a gift. Thank you. And the room turns quiet as Xalafan thanks you in front of the entire fucking Pharaoh.
And I give them a hug in return.
She's very eh, and gives you a very you notice like you can realize she has no idea what she's doing, but she tries her best.
I whisper some, like, nice things to them in Celtic.
Whoever comes after you three will have some big footsteps to fill.
Do we
Yeah.
have to graduate? I
Whatever
think I
you
make
do
much
after your
better art
graduation,
when you yell at me.
whatever you do after your graduation, we will have to talk about another time, maybe, because we are out of time. I thank all of you so much for playing with me and for these great art stuff. Like holy moly, I am as a DM are generally impressed. We will do a little signing out. Um, I believe Claire, we ended with you last time. Do you want to start?
All right. Yes. Thank you everybody for watching. Is there anything else I'm supposed to specifically do for a sign off, or to say thank you for
Where can
Who
people
you are, where
find
we
you
can
if they want
find
to look
you,
for
Oh,
you?
and
okay.
anything you want to
Cool.
plug.
Yeah, I'm like a ghost. I don't have really great social medias. So, good luck finding me. No, just kidding. You can find me as Story Arcs and Subplots on Twitch, and I do have a website, Story Arcs and Subplots, where I work with editing and stuff. If that's your jam, if writing is your jam, you can talk to me about that stuff. And I also will want to say thank you, Bard, for being an awesome GM for us, and it was very fun from this side of the table too. So thank you, and whoever's
Just thank you so much. Gilly, thank you for playing with us.
I'm not going to say thank you back because then I'll be in your debt.
next.
Um, no, thank you, Bart. Always a pleasure. My name is Gilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Gilly, most places on the internet. I am also an editor, and my most recent project has just been published. I was the copy editor for Songs from the Spellbound Sea, which is a nautical 5e supplement book. We kickstarted, it's by So Many Robots, and we kickstarted for like 85 grand. It was awesome, and now it's out, and it's really cool. I am can be found on Saturdays on Valdran's channel playing Kids on Bikes, where I play the popular kid. Her name is Tansy. It's short for Tanzanite because it's a vibe. Um, you can find me on also find me on alternating Fridays on Pantsless Tales playing Blades in the Dark. If our group ever manages to hold another session, we're doing our best, folks. I will be modding here later. And I will also be in a production of The Importance of Being Earnest, which is a virtual production that you will be able to watch on YouTube. And that will be opening in like 2 weeks. So stay tuned to my socials to see more information about that. Um, Thanks for running this game, Bard, and thanks to my wonderful player friends for playing with me. And now please talk, Kallum, so I can stop.
I have been Kallum and will continue to be so. You just won't see or hear me unless you go over to It's Kallum at Blue Sky. I am currently today I am going to go and run a Paint the Town Red game in about an hour and a half over at Panzer's Tables, and then I will be producing later in the evening the House of Dreams, their latest episode of uh, Season's Oath, which is a Wonder Home adventure ran by Okami. Yeah, I'm also every other Tuesday at Panzer's Table playing Blades in the Dark in the same campaign but a different team. Yeah, and I've got other stuff in the works. That's me. I am going to thank you, Bard. Thank you for running this and letting us get away with our madness.
I'm all here for madness.
May the
Um,
spaghetti baguette be with you always.
I'm gonna make a stick out of that. And
Get the
I'm the
baguette.
Bard with Many Names. Can find me basically everywhere on the internet as Bard with Many Names. You can find me I believe, you can find me on Tuesdays at the Misadventures League playing Kids on Brooms. You can find me on alternating Fridays on Pencil's Tables together with Gilly playing Blades in the Dark. You will probably find me soon on House of Dreams for a little uh, something surprising that is in the cooking. It's bubbling. It's bubbling. And if you won't find me on stream, I'm a German actor and writer, and I thank all of you for being here and take care of all of the things that are important to you. Bye.